Hello, Thrivers. Heather Choate here. I am flying solo. Mark had a session with a client going on right now, so you're just going to get me today as we talk about this really important topic of these common parenting issues. Often when we have stress or tension in a marriage, it spills over to stress and tension in the home and to our children. And to me, this is a very important topic because I am a mother of 7. And I have seen times when Ben and I have been struggling, which we've been married for 12 years, so we've definitely had our own ups and downs, that it absolutely affects the children. Last week, we talked about our first I to avoid, because there are 4 I's that we want to avoid when we are working on our marriage and also working with our children to have that really safe and healthy home. I see a couple of you are watching, so let me know if you can hear and see me okay. Like I said, I'm flying solo today, so I'd love some company. And if you guys have any questions or comments, then go ahead and drop a comment and I'd be happy to help you live here. So our first I of the things that we want to avoid in these common parenting mistakes was ignoring. And we talked about how sometimes we're not really aware of what might be going on, and we gave you 3 awareness actions to take to help yourself become more aware of what your children might be experiencing, so then you can help them. So if you did that challenge where you took those awareness actions, leave me a comment. Let me know how it went. We read every single comment here on these live streams, and we want to make sure that you are really moving forward to having the happy, thriving marriage and home and family that you want. So that was our first I. So now that you hopefully are more aware of what problems there might be and what issues might be going on for your children, now we want to talk about, okay, what do we do about that? And so the second I is something that we want to be very aware of and making sure that we don't fall into this trap. The first I was ignoring, and our second I is igniting. And I'll explain what that means here in a minute. So imagine that there was a fire in your house. Okay, fire is licking up the walls, it's devouring the furniture, it's this blazing heat. And instead of reaching for your phone to call 911 or reaching for a fire extinguisher, you grab the lighter fluid, or you grab a I can't even talk, a gallon of gas and throw it on the fire. Now that sounds crazy, right? But that's actually the trap that so many people fall into, because when they are having this trouble in their lives, they end up adding more fuel to the fire, making the problem even worse. So I just wanted to read a little bit here, if I may. Let me bring this over here so I can see it better. Oh no, now it went away. Okay, sorry. Let me find it real quick. Almost there. Thanks for your patience. Okay. So igniting the problem is one of the most common issues that parents make when trying to solve their family issues. And they allow their marriage problems to spill over to their children. And the kids are the ones caught in the crossfire. So the reason why this happens is that parents often don't know how to process or handle their own emotions. Their anger, pain, hurt, and bitterness leak like fuel all over the rest of the family. Arguments, hurtful words, and behaviors rise the flames up higher. Shutting people out, coldness and silence turn the flames into a kind of cold, white heat. And unfortunately, many parents even pit their children against the other parent as a form of revenge. And children stand to suffer the most when pain is ignited in the home in these ways. So maybe you grew up in a home like this yourself. You know how hard it is. When there is tension in the home, and then it makes everyone tense and everyone starts overreacting, and it just comes into a bigger and bigger issue for everyone. Now, the really good news is it doesn't have to stay that way. So all of these issues, we relate them to like smoke signals, indicating that there's a lack of skills in the home, in the relationship. Emotional processing is one. Communication, that's a huge one. Boundaries, and problem solving. So if you have these skills, you're practically guaranteed success. But without them, you're almost certainly doomed to failure, because you can't put out the fire if you don't have the right tools to put out the flames. So the habit may be to grab the lighter fluid, but you can literally train yourself to go to the fire extinguisher instead. Bottom line is that these habits can be learned. You can learn how to process your own emotions better. And if you've been with me for any amount of time, I know there's a lot of new people in the group, which is wonderful. Welcome. But I talk about how I learned how to emotionally process my own emotions, because that was a huge challenge for me and something I did not learn growing up in my own home. My husband was very, very skilled at that, and gratefully I was able to learn from his example, and he was able to help teach me a lot of things, but I had to do a lot of my own learning and discovery about myself and why I felt the way that I did. Because when I'm not feeling good, when mama ain't happy, nobody's happy, right? But I would let my own stress or my own depression or my own anxiety, my own fears, my own emotional hurts to carry over to my children, even though that was the last thing I wanted to do. That is what happened, unfortunately. And I was just caught in this trap of I'm not feeling good, and so how I wouldn't respond well, and then I wouldn't get good response back in turn, which then just creates this whole incredible vicious cycle. And if any of you have been in that kind of situation, you know what I'm talking about. So I'm just being really real and transparent. So learning how to process and handle my own emotions to get to a really sound and healthy place has been fundamental in changing my life and evolving as a woman and as a mother and as a wife, so that then I can be the person that I really want to be and feel the way I want to feel. And that carries over to the rest of the family because I respond in such a better way. I'm in a healthier place myself. So really recognizing that we have that power in us, even if we're doing this on our own, even if our spouse isn't wanting to work on the marriage with us or even with the children, that you have power within you to get yourself into a really sound and healthy place. And that will have an incredible effect and influence with your children and in creating that safe environment. The other one is communication. Oftentimes we have those barriers there where we don't know how to communicate our needs. Our children don't know how to communicate their needs. And we might have some pain going on there. My baby might be waking up, so I might have to cut this short. But learning those communication skills is so, so critical. Having healthy boundaries, knowing what's okay and what's not okay, and creating that for yourself. And problem solving, learning how to come together as a team. So in the past, you may not have been able to handle your temper, control yourself, and really be able to handle your own emotions. You may have one of those limiting beliefs like, I'm not a patient person. Or, I just shut down, I withdraw, I'm so closed up when I feel hurt. And any other limiting beliefs like that. But the beautiful thing is that those can be changed. Those can be changed. And new behaviors, new patterns can be learned. Just because it's always been that way doesn't mean it has to stay that way. So really let that sink in. There's absolutely hope for you and for your marriage and for your children. So with the right steps and the right tools, you can truly transform the entire atmosphere of your home. You can take it from that blazing, burning hot to calm, happy, and secure, just like I did. And it can really be yours. So now you need to know a little bit more how to have that healthy, safe, and happy home. And that's exactly what we're going to keep talking about. Mark and I are planning to continue doing this series, 2 more parts. There are 2 more I's that we want to make sure we are avoiding as we work on our marriage and work with our children to give them that safe and happy, healthy home. So if you guys have any questions or comments for me, go ahead and let me know. Otherwise, my baby is waking up, so I'm going to have to cut it short. But I appreciate you all. Go get those fire extinguishers, all right? You guys have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon.